have the magnanimity and the accommodative, inclusive nature. Udara Charitanantu Vasaiva Kutumbakam. But wherein the people of Telangana are known to bear the pressure tactics, the humiliations, the insults, the injuries, the agony, the anguish, the sacrifice, what not and what not. But to begin, before beginning my point of observation, I want to state to this august house that the pressure tactics to hold united is leading to unbearable enmity. We are nurtured to be inclusive. We are nurtured to be cultured. We are very cohesive and honest to the core. But the enmity levels are enlarging. The patience quotient is decreasing. With this point, I would like to present a few points before you, sir. Small is beautiful. This is a global phenomenon. All across the globe, among all the big nations, large nations, there is a tendency to have very smaller administrative unity. Our Indian National Congress took cognizance of the importance of smaller unit for the smoother and greater access to the administration. With this understanding, I want to present the point of what separation means to other parts of the forcefully united state of Andhra Pradesh. Besides Telangana, there is coastal Andhra, there is Rayalaseema. These are the parts which were under Madras presidency, wherein erstwhile Hyderabad Nizam state was governed by the Nizam rulers. So, first I want to deal what the separation means to my brethren of other parts. See the corporatization, globalization, expansion of urbanization, growth of cities, growth of several facilities, not only in urban but also mufassil milieu. In such situation, if they have to get a separate state, if they are to be bifurcated into separate state, there is already a number of cities and important industrial clusters, agricultural clusters all across coastal Andhra and Rayalaseema. Take the case of Visakhapatnam, take the case of Rajahmundry, take the case of Kakinada, take the case of Vijayawada, take the case of Tirupati, take the case of Kadapa, take the case of Kurnool. Likewise, they have enormous scope to grow, and having a state capital, building a new state capital will mean lot of new influx of huge flow of several resources, including lot of government funding. Not only that, they are having the wonderful coastline. That is the largest coastline of our nation. Coastal Andhra is having the largest coastline. We know the people of Telangana are aware that annually there were 380 lakh tons of imports and exports were taking place between Srikakulam and Nellore of the coastal Andhra. With these imports and exports, which are to grow soon to the tune of 5 lakh tons per annum, what is the income it is going to generate? What is the benefit it is going to accrue to the native land is also known to us. Not only that, they are having wonderful irrigation facility. They are the grown-up society. They have wonderful educational facilities. They have extraordinary medical facilities. They have all the infrastructure at their stake. They have universities and all other institutions for their utility with these things. The notion and the feeling of the common people of coastal Andhra and Rayalaseema is that, in particular, the people of the weaker sections of those two regions are, as understood by us, is that they are eagerly waiting for separation. They would like to have their own state, to have their facilities much more nearer, to come to the state capital of Hyderabad, the person of Srikakulam, the person of Tada of Nellore district. They will take at least 1 to 1.5 days and a planning of weekdays. If they are to have the nearer capital, the benefit of administration, the nearness of administration can be easily useful and understandable. This is I know, the clever and understanding brethren of coastal Andhra and Rayalaseema are fully aware of these things, and the leadership of those parts are also completely in comprehension of these things. But why they are obstructing, why they are making hurdles in the formation of, in the separation of Telangana from this forcefully united state of Andhra Pradesh? As it is, Telangana is the case for demerger. It was argued, it was established, it was supported, it was reported, it was assured. In particular, first let me mention about my party itself. The national leadership of my party, Indian National Congress, my leader, Srimati Sonia Ji Gandhi, is always generous. She is allowing, the national leadership allowing to express, to demand, to hesitate for the want of separation of Telangana state. They are patiently hearing for almost 12 years the national leadership, our Honorable Congress President, our Congress Working Committee, our national leadership were patiently giving audience to the delegations and representations, and also taking very serious note of the anguish and agitation taking place in the parts and several all across the length and breadth of Telangana. This is being amply indicated in the efforts before 2003, in the efforts of 2004, in the efforts of UPA first union government, and in the efforts subsequently since 2009, even on the floor of Andhra Pradesh Legislative Assembly. Now we have almost 12 years from the sincere, committed follow-up and trials of national leadership of Indian National Congress to respect the feelings and the aspirations of the people of Telangana. But there were several bottlenecks coming in between. They are gradually and peacefully trying to weed out such complications. But what is happening in my land is agonizing. I come from Telangana, a land of armed struggle. Even Congress volunteers were known to have the armed camps. Even Swami Ramananda Tirtha, Janardhan Rao Desai, Swamiji's Shishya, the former Prime Minister of India, were all the members and armed volunteers of Indian National Congress then. And in Telangana, we were known to establish a very secret radio to broadcast the message of freedom, the need of struggle by Congress volunteers. Such was our efforts, such was our perusal. From that, even before 1942, there was a demand from the natives of erstwhile Hyderabad state. And in the 1950s, there were consistent efforts to sustain the foothold in the employment and in the administration. But with the formation, with the idea of formation of United State of Andhra Pradesh, all the complications grew gradually. After the police action in 1948, after advent of the administration, the military rule and intermittent 4-year administrators rule, several hundreds and thousands of outside employees could come into the important places of administration in erstwhile Hyderabad state. That was the major problem to begin with. That has cropped up and grew into very severe complication which we could not weed out now. As it is, Telangana issue is having several angles. Through all the angles, through all the dimensions, the case for demerger of Telangana is valid. For that, first I want to take the statement of veteran leader of Andhra state, who became the first speaker of Andhra Pradesh Legislative Assembly, Sri Ayadevara Kaleshwar Rao. He was the eminent leader of Andhra state then within the Madras presidency. He stated in 1953, before formation of Andhra state, these were his words. I quote from the words of Sri Ayadevara Kaleshwar Rao. He said on the plight of Andhra in Madras province, quote, Tamils have greater influence in the Madras legislature, in the government, in the High Court. In the government of Madras run by Tamils, the individuality and self-respect of Andhras has decreased. That is the Tamilian state and not of Andhras. Under the Madras government, the Tamils are enjoying the benefits, whereas Andhras are backward in respect of employment, education and economic development, industries and power supply in Andhra area. These were the words of the Ayadevara Kaleshwar Rao. These were resounding even now all across Telangana. Why? Because the same is the case from people of Telangana to argue our issue. In Madras presidency, then there was Sir Rajagopalachari, who was chancellor, the last chancellor of this nation, who became subsequently the chief minister of Madras presidency. He warned the Andhra people of Madras presidency to vacate Madras city, the Chennai, within 24 hours. That was the conflict. That was the contention. That was the complication. Intermittently, a renowned engineer, a devout freedom fighter, a very sincere social worker, Potti Sri Ramuluji, a man committed to his issues, he began his fast. He began his fast in the Maharshi Bulsu Sambamurti residence. But for what he has begun, he just began his fast to attain Madras along with Andhra state. But my friends of other regions try to focus that the fast and subsequent martyrdom of Sri Potti Sri Ramuluji, formation of this unusable, unsustainable, unintegratable, forcefully united state of Andhra Pradesh. That was not the case. He was just on fast to attain Madras into Andhra state during the demarcation, during the bifurcation. But that could not happen. It was the history. The people of Andhra region of Madras presidency were fighting to attain some provisions from Madras government to enter into agreement with the erstwhile Hyderabad Nizam state to have the Nandikonda project. But the then Madras government was not eager to extend the necessary support or fulfill the expectations of the people of coastal Andhra region, the leadership of coastal Andhra region. Such these contentions have grew up, and with the formula which is getting floated on the basis of linguistic state, it could take its own run. And since the national leadership of Indian National Congress then, which was delving with the subject right since 1932, opted to have the experiment of linguistic states. But the Justice Fazal Ali Commission, the first States Reorganization Commission, has categorically stated that Even if union government goes ahead